Hi guys, Miss Chalk here. I'm going to attempt to make my own Ed puzzle because I couldn't find the Ed puzzle that showed this lesson the way I want to show it. So we're going to give it a go. The only way that I could figure out how to share my iPad screen so I could write on it is by doing a Pear Deck. I'm sure over time I'll learn how to do this another way, but bear with me. I'm at my house, and so we might get some noise in the background, but hey, we're going to give this a try. Okay. So we're going to learn how to find slope from 2 points. Slope from 2 points. And let me turn that off. The way that most people are going to teach this lesson, and this is why I couldn't find it the way I wanted to show it, is they show M equals, because M stands for slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and that's the slope formula. That's how you can find it. But trying to memorize another formula, we're just going to do it a different way. So that formula exists. You might see that formula, but we're going to give it a try a little bit different way. So hang in there with me. Let's go to the next screen. Here I have 2 points. See my 2 points? Now I put that formula up here in the corner so you could see it if you really want to see it. And you'll see by the time we get to the second one why that formula works. But we're going to use a way that we've already learned, and that's finding slope from a table. Okay? And so let me show responses here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a table, my y and my x, and I'm going to just put the points on the table. So I have -4 goes with -5, and I have 8 goes with 4. There's my 2 points, just like the tables you guys have already seen, and you've already figured this out. So now I remember the change in y. How did I go from -5 to 4? Well, when I think about it, I like to visualize a number line. And on a number line, if I'm at -5, which is over here, I have to go up 5 to get to 0. Then I go up another 4. Oh, okay, so I had to go 9 times. So the change from -5 to 4 would be 9. And that's my number that goes on top. Now, how did I go from -4 to 8? Well, again, I visualize the same thing. I think that I'm down here at -4, and I had to go 4 to get to 0, and then another 8 to get up to 8. So I'm basically just adding those together, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. To go from -4 to 8, I had to go 12. So my slope, my rise over run, is 9/12, and that can be reduced to 3/4 because 3 goes into each of those. So my slope between these 2 points, this point and this point, is 3/4. Okay, let's do another one. Here we go. I have this set of points and I have this set of points. Okay, and I am going to, first thing, make a table. So here's my table. And then I'm going to just plug in my points. -1 with 14 and 7, -34. Okay? Now here's where that formula kind of makes sense. But we don't always have big numbers like this. Okay? Going from 14 to -34, that's kind of hard to figure out. I mean, I like to visualize it. I'm way down here on the other side of the 0. I mean, I'm way up here on the right side of the 0, and I got to go way down. So I'm going to be decreasing. So that means I'm going to have a negative number. But if I were to like use the formula and say -34 minus 14, that's what I'm basically doing. I'm taking -34 and I'm minusing 14. That's how I find the difference. That's how I find the change to go from 14 all the way down to 34. And so if you remember negative 34 minus 14, you're just adding them together. So I get negative 48. So that's my top number, negative 48. Then my bottom number is just my change. How did I go from negative 1? So I don't have to really think about the formula here, right? How did I go from negative 1 all the way to 7? Well, that was 8 points. I had to go 8. That was my change there, okay? So 48 can be divided by 8, and so my slope is negative 6. Negative 48 divided by 8 is negative 6. So my slope there is negative 6. Okay, let's do another one, but I want you guys to try it. Here we go. We have 2, 7, that's 1 point, and we have 9, 15. Take a piece of paper. You try it. What would you do first? You would make your table. Now, I'm not showing you what I'm doing yet because I want you to try it. So I'm making a table, and I'm going to put 2 and 7 and 9 and 15. Now I'm going to think to myself, how did I go from 7 to 15? That's my top number. How did I go from 7 to 15? Okay, so I'm going to write that top number down. That's my change in Y. Now, how did I go from 2 to 9? So I'm at 2. How do I get to 9? 2 to 9. That's my change in X. So that goes on the bottom. And then I have a fraction. So can it be reduced? I think so. Just curious if you got the same answer that I got. Let's take a look. That's what I got. My change from 7 to 15 was 8. My change from 2 to 9 is 6. So I have 8 over 6, which can reduce to 4/3. What? How easy was that? Okay, let's try one more. Here we go. I have negative 4 and 11 and 6 and negative 3. What's that first thing you're going to do? I want you to give this a try. Okay. Now then I'm going to look for my change in Y over my change in X. What's my change in Y? How did I go from 11 to negative 3? How did I go from 11? Now think about this, you guys. You have a number line and you're all the way up at 11. What direction are you going? You're negativing it, right? You're going a negative direction, okay? So what number did you get? Now put that number over. How did I go from negative 4 to 6? No. Think about that timeline, or that number line. I keep calling it a timeline. That number line. I'm at negative 4, but I got to get up to 6. I'm going to be adding some numbers in there. And what did you get? Okay. Can that be reduced? And are you ready for the answer? La la! There's my answer. To go from 11 to negative 3, I had to go down 14, right? Now, again, you can think to yourself, if you're thinking slope formula, which it does exist, you're basically saying negative 3 minus 11. You're taking this right here, that's your Y2, and you're minusing your Y1. Or you can just think, how did I go from 11 to negative 3? And it's a negative number because I had to go that way, right? Now, how did I go from negative 4 all the way up to 6? So I get negative 14 over 10, which can be reduced to, oh, I put the wrong answer there. 7 over, oops, I didn't reduce the second one. 7 over 5. What? There it is. Negative 7 over 5. Okay. You can get more practice on this on one of the side dishes. So you can select that and practice this more on your own. Thank you.